All right, hey everyone, and thanks for stopping by. Micah here, hopefully with a potentially simple fix, for someone who, is in my situation where my Facebook account, right? My Facebook account that I'd had for like 15 years, right? It's not like I tried to build up a whole bunch of stuff on there, but I certainly had a lot of connections, friends, a few groups, and had some stuff established there that, you don't want to just lose it all of a sudden. And I've certainly had situations where my account was maybe suspended briefly for a certain amount of time, maybe some minor violation or something, and a few times in the past. But in this case, it was suspended, right, for 4 months, not able to get back into my Facebook account. Why? In this case, it was supposedly, allegedly, my Facebook account was linked up to some Instagram account inadvertently or hacked or something like that, right? And they supposedly committed some violation on Instagram with this account, and it caused my Facebook to be suspended. So the thing is I didn't recognize this Instagram account, so I couldn't log into it or anything. I didn't know what it was from. I had no idea. But I tried everything. I tried, for 4 months, right? Not maybe like every single day, but a lot of times I'd go back and try to message Facebook and Instagram, and any way I could, the feedback, support. I got every email I could find, trying every possibility of trying to get somebody to help me, and no response, no help, right? So almost to the point where I'm thinking, like, what is the next option? Like, I hear some people like, well, either start writing a state senator or something like that, right? And, I wasn't really like thinking I'm gonna go that far over it, but it's just a Facebook account. At the same time, it has a lot of valuable connections. So I was almost thinking about that possibility, but then all of a sudden, right, the epiphany, the big epiphany, and maybe let me know if this helps you in your situation, right? Maybe you have the same situation. Facebook somehow linked up to some unknown Instagram account, right? It looks like you're hacked and maybe trying everything. See, this is the breakthrough that somehow unlocked it. Was that all of a sudden after 4 months, I realized that I have these other, and I don't know exactly what gave me the impetus, but I realized that I have these other email addresses linked up to my Facebook account, my old Facebook account, right? These other email addresses that I added to my account, maybe like 4 or 5 of them or something like that altogether. But every now and then I noticed, well, my Facebook was working fine, for the longest time, but every now and then I would notice, like, I don't know if it was a fairly recent thing or like the last year or two, but I would get some messages that seemed to be from Facebook that are like about some account that I don't recognize with Asian writing, maybe like Chinese or Japanese or something. I'm not real familiar with it, but the thing is, I didn't know what it was, right? I just thought it was like some glitch. I was getting some messages. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's exactly the same thing that helped me fix the problem. But bottom line is, I went back and for whatever reasons went back and looking in that secondary email account, that alternative email account that I had linked up to my main Facebook profile. It's not the main email I normally have that is like the main one I would consider my main email that I use, but a secondary email that I had linked up to my account that I had created a long time ago. And I went back in there and I started realizing, wait a minute, what are these other messages that had some Asian writing in them? And I started looking into it a little deeper. I opened up one of the messages and it was asking me to visit. Like, I couldn't read what it was writing because it was like, in some Asian text. So I didn't know what it said. But it had a little blue button in the middle of the message, like as if to visit the Facebook page that they're talking about or whatever it's saying. Or, someone might close it up and think that this is some kind of phishing scam or junk mail itself. But, it was like, I don't know if it was directly from Facebook. Bottom line, the message opens up and it has a blue button link to some kind of Facebook page. So I clicked it. As soon as I did that, it took me into the actual options to unlink this unknown Instagram account from my Facebook, where I tried everything I thought I could do before. Right? I tried everything I could think of, on my regular account. But, I even had to open up another browser, like Firefox instead of Chrome, etc. So maybe you'll try this. Like I said, think of any other emails that you might have linked up to your Facebook account. If your account is suspended, in this case due to an unrecognized Instagram account, maybe drop me a like or subscribe or share. But like I said, go look in that alternative email, look in the spam folder, look for any emails that look suspicious. They seem to be related to Facebook, but not necessarily referencing you or your account per se. Maybe some other account that somehow got intertwined or linked up, and you can remove or unlink it by finding any of those messages in that secondary or alternative email. Now, I've seen some other videos about this topic, and honestly, I never saw any of them point this one thing out, right? Checking a secondary alternative email that you might have linked up to your Facebook account for any suspicious messages that look like they're related to Facebook or maybe Instagram. right? It could be maybe there's some other manifestations of it, but in this case, some messages that look like they were from Facebook, but specifically seeming to reference some other person, or in this case, in some other language. Maybe this helps you. Let me know, and maybe drop me a line. Maybe check out some of my other videos if they look like there's something interesting to you. All right, thanks for stopping by. I hope this helps, and see you next time.